Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled at the base of a majestic mountain, there lived a young man renowned for his notorious laziness. He spent his days lounging in the cool shade of a tree, drifting between naps and daydreams, while the rest of the villagers diligently labored in the fields and workshops. One day, an aged and wise monk visited the village and beckoned the young man to him. "My son," the monk said, "I have a task for you. I want you to climb to the summit of that mountain and retrieve a single feather from its highest peak." The young man glanced up at the towering mountain and laughed dismissively. "That's impossible," he replied. "I'm far too lazy to climb all the way up there." The monk smiled knowingly and said, But the feather you seek is not on the mountain itself. It lies on the other side, within a cave that can only be reached by ascending to the top and then descending down the other side." Intrigued by the monk's words, the young man, never having heard of this feather before, felt a spark of curiosity. Thus, he resolved to accept the monk's challenge. The ascent was grueling, and the young man quickly found himself panting and drenched in sweat. But as he climbed higher, he experienced a thrill and exhilaration he had never felt before. Upon reaching the peak, he was utterly exhausted but filled with a profound sense of achievement as he gazed at the stunning panorama before him. The true test, however, was yet to come. The young man had to make his way down the other side of the mountain to locate the cave where the feather was said to be hidden. The descent proved to be even more perilous than the climb, with the young man stumbling and falling numerous times. Yet, he persevered, driven by the promise of the elusive feather. Finally, he reached the cave, and there, bathed in the soft light streaming in from the entrance, lay the feather, glimmering beautifully. He picked it up, marveling at its delicate beauty. But then a daunting realization struck him. How would he manage to get back up the mountain and return the feather to the monk? For a brief moment, the young man contemplated giving up. But then, he remembered the immense pride and satisfaction he had felt upon reaching the summit. He knew he possessed the strength and determination to accomplish the task again. And so, with his muscles aching and lungs burning, he began the arduous climb back up the mountain. He refused to surrender, propelled by the knowledge that he had overcome his laziness and achieved something truly extraordinary. When he finally presented the feather to the monk, the elder smiled and said, "Well done, my son. Today, you have learned a vital lesson. Laziness is not something to be accepted or tolerated. It is a challenge to be conquered, an obstacle to be surmounted." The young man nodded, grasping the wisdom in the monk's words. He realized that he had always been capable of great things, but his laziness had held him back. Now, he understood that he possessed the strength and determination to overcome any barrier that lay in his path. The lesson from the monk's challenge is clear. Laziness is not to be accepted or endured. It is a challenge to be overcome, an obstacle to be leaped over. When we push ourselves to achieve our goals, even when they seem insurmountable, we discover a resilience and strength within ourselves that we never knew existed. To conquer laziness, we must set ambitious goals and challenge ourselves no matter how daunting they may appear. We must push past our limits and persevere, even in the face of setbacks and difficulties. It is also crucial to cultivate discipline and consistency in our daily routines. By adhering to a structured schedule, we can develop good habits that keep us focused and productive, even when motivation wanes. Another key to overcoming laziness is to adopt a growth mindset. This means viewing challenges and failures as opportunities for growth and learning, rather than as reasons to give up. By embracing a growth mindset, we can reframe our perspective on failure and use it as a catalyst for improvement and progress. Ultimately, overcoming laziness requires a willingness to step out of our comfort zones and embrace the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead.